Hi, this is Shelby from Shelby Shea Stitches. I'm here to talk to you about the square crochet along, and this is week 4. I'm going to talk to you a bit about my process and my reasoning for doing the square crochet along. That happens once a month. Well, it happens every week for a month. I talk about who this type of project is for, where I get my yarn, where my inspiration comes from, when you can find these emails, how you can sign up for these emails, and what happens next. So this month, the entire month is for the Havok Square, which is right here. This is my sample square, and I am making a blanket of each. So each of my squares will end on the same stitch count. So make one a month, and at the end of the year, you have 12 squares that you can join together for a blanket and gift it to a friend or family member. The yarn that I'm using for this is Mandala Acre Woods, which is part of the baby collection, and Mandala Harpy. I'm excited to watch this one grow. These colors obviously are just part of my jam. I will make sure to link any of the yarns that I talk about in the description below. Some of the yarns I do have an affiliate link through, and I'll make sure to label that clearly. What that means is that I earn a little bit of a commission if you purchase through the link that you click on my description. So who should sign up for these crochet alongs? These crochet alongs are meant for people who are wanting to practice some new stitches. It is not that many rounds to go through. It can work out pretty quickly. You'll be practicing new stitches every month, and you'll start to get a feel for my style through this as well. So if you're new and want to grow, this is a great way to start. If you are somebody who has a bit of a stash and wants to work through some of those scrap yarns, these squares are great projects for that. If you've got a bunch of acrylic laying around that you use for your blankets, this would be awesome. Make up as many squares as you have yarn with. It is for people who are, if you are a seller at a market, there's a lot of different ways that you can use these squares to pop them into your market that don't take a lot of time, like a blanket, that offer a unique stitch that you haven't really seen before. So this week I did a cotton trivet, and you can make pot holders with these, and actually this wouldn't be too thick of a pot holder to take something in and out of the oven. I would much rather use fabric pot holders, so I use these as trivet when I take the Instant Pot out of the stove, or the Instant Pot insert out to cool off. I place it on my crochet trivets. I have a few of them from many years ago that have held up really well over the years. This trivet, crochet trivet, I used Caron cotton cakes and calico flowers, and as you can see, I still have a ton left. I could make a whole tower of these with the accent color mint from We Crochet Dishy yarn, which is a standard cotton. You can substitute these with any cotton. I suggest not using an acrylic because there is the chance it could melt depending on what you're taking out of the oven. When I crocheted this square, I did not do the entire pattern. I stopped right here and made 2 of them. I used the mint as the X stitches on both sides to tie it together. I think this side's my favorite. And once finished, I tucked in the tails, sandwiched them together with their right sides facing out. I did a 3 single crochet in the corner, and then single crochet chain 1 into each of the chain 1 spaces, but I went through both pieces to connect it together. I did then another round of, or no, I didn't. So I joined them together all the way around, turned it, and did another round this way. And so it makes it kind of look like there's not really a right side or a wrong side. So depending on your mood, you can do either direction. If I were to crochet these squares again, what I would do differently is most likely run through all the yarn that I have. When I buy the yarn, I don't like having a bunch of scraps hanging around. If I do, then I have a tendency either to throw them away, which feels really wasteful to me, or giving them to somebody who does like to use the pieces. So honestly, what I would do is run through and make as many squares as I could that didn't, and whether I ran out of this yarn first, which is more likely, or this yarn, and then I would put the two together that I felt matched the best. I am working on a little bit tighter of a schedule, making sure that I can get all of these crochet alongs out with the blogs every week, with a video every week, and I just didn't have the time in me to do that. But I'm sure what you'll be seeing is more of my squares done in this colorway in other trivet examples as the year goes on. That does not mean that each week I will, or each month, that's what I'll be doing is these same type of squares. That's not the case. But that is what I would do differently next time, is I would put two colors that seem to go together better. This month for the Havok Square crochet along, I did my sample square. I showed some pictures of the Havok Square. Obviously it's a Havok Square. I wanted to see how many squares I could get out of 2 cakes, which is about 8. I can only find 5 of them. I wanted to join them together and show you what a blanket would look like with 3 cakes, but I can't find it. So next month with my what is releasing, a little R&R square is next month, and I'm going to try to make a blanket in 1 week using 2 cakes. We'll see what it ends up coming out to. Plan on making 6 squares and joining them together and seeing how big that gets. So if you would like to see my process through that, sign up for the emails, sign up for the subscribe, like whatever all of that stuff is, and I will be posting and talking about it on my social medias. The 3rd week, I featured a crocheted market bag that I used also a different colorway of cotton cakes and cotton fair, this guy right here, which I bought more of because I will be making another blanket, or not another blanket, another market bag, and I'm looking at my stash to see what cotton I have. I'm going to throw a poll up in my stories on Instagram to see what cotton yarn I should use to make the little R&R square, so keep your eye out for that. And this week was the trivet. Next month, I am with my little R&R square, which is based off of this same design here. I finished this last night, so I got really excited. The details for this will be coming out on Tuesday. With my little R&R square, I'll have my sample that's done in the same colors, Acre Woods and Harpy. And I bought Thick and Quick yarn, thinking that I could do a pillow. It's turning out pretty big and using up most of the yarn, so it's not going to be a pillow. I'm going to make it and see what creative juices flow my way and how I can use that crocheted square as some other project. It might just be a spot for on a table. I don't know. If you've used Thick and Quick and have made it into a big square, let me know. If you've used Thick and Quick and have used it for other projects, tell me what you love it for, because I adore it. I buy it, I try to make something with it, and it doesn't match the vision in my head, so I'm not sure where I'm going. My comfort level is definitely mandala yarn. I know how far I can get with it. I know what it's going to feel like and look like and drape like. Help me out with Thick and Quick, please. I am also going to be making the market bag, like I said, and I picked up these colors because they remind me of Valentine's Day stuff. I'm going to turn it into a square and again see what inspiration hits and what we can do with it. If you would like to see that, sign up for the newsletter. It comes out once a week on Sundays, and it does include the full, it doesn't include, the PDF has a lot more information that's available on Ravelry that helps support more content to come out. And this is my full-time gig now, and it helps tremendously. And every time I get that email of a pattern being sold, I do a happy dance with me and my girls. But the full pattern will be readily available every single week, which is different from my scarf crochet alongs and different from my blanket crochet along. So next month, I just got distracted by a message that came through. My sample square, I'm going to try to make a blanket in 1 week. My thick and quick, this yarn, and I was going to make a market bag too. Oh my gosh, I have more ideas than I have time for. So we'll see what actually ends up happening, and I look forward to seeing what you're making. So if you haven't yet, join the Facebook group, Shelby Shays Stitches Cal, C-A-L, for crochet along on Facebook. You got to answer a couple questions just to make sure you're not a robot and to make sure you're not going to come in there and acting a fool and causing havoc in my safe spaces. And share your work. It doesn't just have to be Shelby Shay Stitches stuff too. I am here to root all of us on. There are so many talented people out there, and you're one of them. So I want to see what you're making. I want to hype you up. And yeah, that's about all for this week. So we'll see you next Sunday when I talk to you about the when I talk to you about the little R&R square, and you can see what that looks like. And if you want more, scarves come out on Tuesdays, blankets come out on Thursdays. Bye.